When we hear the word church, many people think only about the religion, but historically, the church was one of the most powerful institutions in the world, shaping education, politics, and social life for centuries. Over time, however, its role has changed. The church went throughout periods of reforms, lost part of its political power, and had to redefine its place in the modern society. Because of that, an important question appears. Is the influence of the church today coming from the institution itself or from the people inside it? We clearly see in the films the shoes of the fisherman and Romero. In both stories, it is not just the church as a system, but individuals who take responsibility making difficult decisions, defending human dignity, and giving hope in times of crisis. In our project, we will explore this question in two different contexts, Ukraine and Peru, and see how the church continues to shape society today. So the real question is not only what the church was in the past, but who gives it meaning today.
In the shoes of a fisherman, the church is presented as far more than a place of worship. It is a moral force deeply involved in society where formal discussion takes place. Pope Kirill believes that the church cannot remain detached from the struggles of the community. He says, "I cannot wash my hands of the world," as a reference to Pontius Pilate. He is rejecting indifference in the face of human suffering. This reflects the church's responsibility to act in times of crisis. The film highlights the church's mission to protect and serve humanity. One powerful line states, "The children of God are ours to protect, and if we have to fight, we fight." Here, fight does not mean violence at all, but rather standing firmly for justice, dignity, and peace. This idea is reinforced when the Pope opens the church's wealth to those most in need, demonstrating that faith must also be expressed through action, giving hope through it. The Catholic Church continues to influence society through education, charity, and moral guidance.
I want to talk about Film Romero, a true story about Archiepiscop Oscar Romero of El Salvador and about what it really means to be Christian in the world. At the beginning of the film, Romero is quite a calm priest. He is not a hero, but then he sees poor people suffering, he sees innocent people killed, and he sees that nobody is speaking for them. And so he decided to speak. The change in Romero shows us something very important, then this church must always stand close to people who are weak, poor and forgotten, not close to the powerful, close to those who have nothing. In the film, Romero does simple but very brave things. He visits poor villages, he speaks on the radio so that ordinary people can hear him, he stands between soldiers and civilians to protect them. He shows us that faith is not only something private between you and God. Faith must be visible. Faith must change something in the real world. The film also teaches that staying silent in the world is not natural. When there is injustice around us, silence is already a choice and the wrong one.
After the start of a full-scale war in Ukraine, the Church has evolved from a ritual space into a vital humanitarian front, maintaining an impressive 62.5% level of public trust. Beyond spiritual care, religious communities started to act as supraconfessional helpers, repurposing cathedrals into shelters and providing millions of meals. They have moved beyond temporary relief to a help for self-help approach, empowering citizens through vocational training and systematic programs like healing the wounds of war. Education is a pillar of this resilience. The Ukrainian Catholic University has pioneered this mission, donating to army, delivering medical items, crafting power banks and tactical gear for the front lines. Politically, choosing a church has become a geopolitical act of national security, driving a profound decolonization of the spirit. This transformation integrates military chaplains at the peace of soul within the army mechanism. Ultimately, faith is no longer just a prayer, it is the foundational bedrock of Ukrainian identity and survival.
Moving to Peru, we find a church that mirrors the moral courage seen in our films. During the internal armed conflict between 1980 and 2000, the church was a vital mediator and protector of human rights. Much like Archbishop Romero, Peru has its own martyrs, such as the martyrs of Chimbote and Sister Aguchita, who were killed for their commitment to justice. In recent times, like during the COVID-19 pandemic, the church again filled gaps where the state was absent, providing food security and health aid to marginalized areas. This echoes the selfless leadership seen in the shoes of the fisherman, prioritizing dignity over wealth. Today, the church remains Peru's most trusted institution and continues to be a key moral guide and mediator in social conflicts. The church is an active pillar of society, far beyond just a symbol.
So, the church's role goes far beyond religion. It is also important in education, social work, politics, and moral guidance. In the shoes of the fisherman and Romero, we see that the church becomes influential when people take action, protecting human dignity, helping others, and standing against injustice. This is also true in real life. In Ukraine, the church supports people through humanitarian aid and education during the war. In Peru, it helps communities, defends human rights, and acts as a moral guide. Therefore, the church remains influential today because it responds to real human needs.